believe I'm finally doing this video. This has been my long talked about weight loss video. So yeah, here I am. This is a very personal topic to me. It's almost kind of embarrassing. I'm going to show you before and after pictures, tell you my weight loss story, how I lost all the weight, and I'm also going to answer the FAQs that you guys all sent me in. So thank you for all your questions. My starting weight before I started this weight loss was 212 pounds, so crazy. I'm 5'6", and so I do think I carried it reasonably well because I didn't expect the number to be that high. I'm not saying it's good at all. How much do I weigh now? Right now I weigh I think 67 kilograms, but like your weight fluctuates throughout the day, so I weigh between 147 and 149 pounds right now. From 212 pounds to 150 is 60 pounds, I'm pretty sure. I lost 60 pounds, give or take. My first goal weight was just to be under 200 pounds, which I surpassed obviously, and then my goal weight was to be 150, but my ultimate goal weight is to be anywhere between 130 and 135, even between 130 and 140. It's not so much about the number on the scale for me, it's more about where my body is when I get there, because I never want to be like that typical skinny type of body type. I personally like curves, I like the hourglass shape. My starting pant size, I was wearing a size 12 to 14 at my heaviest, and now I am wearing a size 6. Past 4 years, I would say, is when I started to balloon. Lack of exercise, I'm lazy, I didn't exercise at all, like I would rather sit on my butt than exercise in the past, and eating all the wrong things. I love food, I love pizza, I love pasta, I love bread, I love all those kind of foods, like desserts and everything, and I would eat everything I want in excess. Like there was no moderation, no portion control. You can only do so much to your body before it just balloons on you. At the end of November 2012, so last year, I went to a doctor's physical, and that was really kind of my wake-up call to do something about it, because they weigh you at that physical and I was disgusted by the number. Like I was kind of in denial about my weight gain. I knew I didn't like my body. Like there were times even in videos where I'd be like, oh, like my face looks slim today, or like, oh, I'm bigger but I'm not that big. I was seeing something else. I don't know what went on. I was kind of a little bit delusional. I'm only in my early 20s. Do I want to have that body that I was unhappy with for like the prime of my life? I know it sounds weird to say. Do I not want to be able to like go shopping and just choose whatever I want to wear and wear what I want? Or do I want to always have to be thinking, oh, how am I going to hide my belly, my arms, etc. Just before Christmas, I signed on at the gym, because for me, I figured if I'm paying $60 a month on a gym membership, I'm going to use it more so than doing exercise at home, which I've tried in the past, or using my school gym, which I don't actually pay for. I think my start date was January 10th. I have it written down, and that is when I started full force at the gym, and I haven't looked back since, and so here we are today. What I did to lose the weight was so easy, like it's obvious, it's common sense. I changed my diet and I added exercise into my routine. So as for my diet, I cut my calories back to 1,200 a day. So I only eat 1,200 calories a day, and I track everything that I eat on MyFitnessPal, which is an app. You guys can follow me on there under Amy Nicola OX as well. As I started becoming more proficient with that and noticed I wasn't losing weight as fast, I then went ahead in the MyFitnessPal, and you can look at your macros. Then I also cut my carbohydrate intake, because my carb intake, even though I cut it down to 1,200 calories, I was still consuming 200 grams of carbs a day, which is crazy. And I noticed that carbs kind of give me that bloated stomach. Now I only consume 120 grams or less of carbs. Usually I'm around 100 grams a day, but I sit at 120 because I love carbs basically. And then also my protein was low, so I upped my protein. I try and get as close to 100 grams of protein a day that I can. It's hard, but I do try and hit that. And then my fat, I try and keep it at 30 grams or less. Sometimes it's more, which is, I'm still working on cutting that back so I can keep my body fat down. Then I do exercise. So I started going to the gym between 3 and 5 times a week. Probably there were some weeks where it was more like I only went 3 times, 4 times. 5 is hard to do. Started out on the elliptical, but I realized I didn't like that. It wasn't high impact enough for me. So then I moved to running on the treadmill. And basically how I've lost the weight is through the treadmill. I owe it all to the treadmill and running. When I first started at the gym and I moved to the treadmill, I've never been a runner. It was so unfit, it's ridiculous. And so like even to walk at like 3.5 miles an hour, that was like a really brisk walk and like strenuous pace for me. Treadmill, I started out doing the Couch to 5K program, but then that's kind of like constant running. And then I read the best thing for fat loss was high intensity interval training. So HIIT is the acronym for that. And so what I do is I go on the treadmill for 36 minutes. I warm up with a brisk walk for 5 minutes at 4 miles an hour. And then I alternate a minute of a sprint with a minute of walking at 3.5. So I'll sprint for a minute at 6.5 miles an hour. Then I'll walk a minute to get my breath back and to calm my heart rate down. So the aim of HIIT is you want to elevate your heart rate like crazy, bring it back down for a minute to a minute and a half of recovery period, then bring it back up. And that's really what aids in fat loss. I'll do the same thing on the stationary bike, but for only 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So doing high intensity interval training on the bike is the same thing. Alternate a minute really hard pedaling at a high resistance and incline, really fast for a minute, then bring it down for a minute and up on, so forth like that. Sometimes I'll do the elliptical, sometimes I will do the Stairmaster, which is like the elevator moving stairs, because I'm trying to conquer that machine. It's a killer. And then I just do some basic weights, but I do want to do more weight training now that I'm closer to my goal. But when I was far away from my goal at 200 pounds, my main goal was to lose fat, because even if you build muscle, your muscle is not going to show through the layer of fat you still have. So cardio is the thing that drops your fat, but now I'm a lot closer. I want to tone up all over. I feel like it took me a really long time where I could personally see changes on my body in the mirror. I know my body was changing after about a month because my pants got loose. My face had somewhat slimmed down slightly because my face was so bloated if you look at my old videos. But I really don't think I saw the changes until the summer. So at least 4 or 5 months is when I saw the changes. And that kind of made me not lose faith in the process, but I would kind of be a little bit down and be like, oh, like I'm doing all this work and I haven't seen any difference, even though I knew my body was changing. But what you have to do, you have to keep trusting the process, know that what you're doing is good for your body, keep with it, and then eventually like one day, like it almost seems like the weight just dropped off and you're like, oh wow. For me, the biggest thing was I didn't want to feel like I was on a diet or that I couldn't have something if I wanted it. So for me, the biggest thing is portion control. I measure everything that I eat. So make sure you guys get a food scale and like measuring cups. A lot of you guys asked me for recipes and a food diary. I would say follow me on MyFitnessPal because I have my diary open to be seen. But I can tell you the types of things I eat. I eat a lot of chicken breast. What I like to do is prep it the week before and just make enough for the week, and then I'll put it in salad. I'll do grilled chicken breast with vegetables, grilled chicken breast with potatoes, just a few. Just things like that. I eat a ton of eggs. Eggs has been one of my favorite foods in weight loss. I scramble them, boil them, poach them, do omelets with them. Eat a lot of turkey bacon. That's protein also. So I'll put turkey bacon in my salad. I'll put it in pretty much anything. I've also started eating ground turkey breast, so that's great. You can make like ground turkey breast meatballs, you can make chili, you can make things like that, and it's a lot more lean than beef. I still do eat minced beef from time to time. I eat a lot of salads, but I don't eat like high fat dressings, so like not any real creamy dressings. I have vinaigrette, so I make my own vinaigrette to go on my salad. I also eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. Fruit and veggies are super important to get in. I was very lucky that I always liked vegetables. Like I like the taste of them, which may be weird. A typical diet for me would be like for breakfast, I would generally have 2 Weetabix biscuits with 1 cup, like measured 1 cup of milk. I didn't give up milk because my bones get brittle and I need the calcium and I just like it. Then for lunch, I would have either a salad or I would do 2 boiled eggs and then a small block of cheese. I still eat cheese because I like cheese. And then maybe a side salad or something on the side, or I'll make an omelet, or I'll do an egg scramble with like veggies and meat in it. And then for dinner, I'll have like grilled chicken breast, I'll have something with the turkey as a base, or sometimes I do vegetarian dinners because I'm just quite picky, so I tend to eat a lot of the same stuff. There's so much that I eat that if you guys are very interested, because a lot of you guys wanted recipes, it's kind of hard to remember off the top of my head. I will make a post on my blog. I'll leave my blog link down below, and I will do a whole post on my blog about foods and like good foods to eat. Food should be enjoyable. Have the cookie, have the brownie when you want it. Like for me, at first, when I first started and I was obsessively doing calorie counting on MyFitnessPal, every time I would treat myself, I would kind of feel guilty. But now, I mean, what is life if you can't have a cookie when you want it, or, you know, something like that? One cookie didn't make you fat. One cookie is not going to make you put on weight. And just like eating one healthy meal isn't going to make you skinny. Even if you go out to dinner, you don't always have to get the healthiest thing on the menu. If I want a burger and fries, I'll get it. If I want dessert, I'll have it. I'll just eat lower carb and even more strict and healthy throughout the day. It took me about 6 months to lose the bulk of the weight. For the past 2 months, I was really bad and haven't been at the gym as much as I would like to, but I've still been losing weight. First place that I lost weight was in my boobs. Also lost weight from my face first, I'm pretty sure, and like my hips because my pant size went down. And then the last place that I lost weight from was definitely my stomach area. I know everyone's different. Women generally tend to lose their stomach fat last. My stomach still isn't where I want it to be. I'm still working on that. I definitely have noticed within the last few months that my stomach has definitely slimmed down a lot, like my waistline. I have like an actual shape now. Are there any weird places that I lost weight from? Yes, I lost weight in my boobs, which I guess isn't weird that happens, but I was really praying that I was going to hold on to my boobs. I can always buy boobs if I want, right? I can get implants. I lost weight on my fingers, like my ring size went down. I lost weight like on my clavicle. Now I have like collarbones and things like that. I didn't have any collarbones before. I also lost weight on my feet, my shoe size, which really is one of like the worst things in a way. I have large feet anyway, but I went down about a half a size to a whole size, and you guys know I love designer shoes, so now all of those are like a half size big for me. Motivation for me, I think I just got to the point, I get a lot of questions about this in real life too. For me, motivation wasn't the hardest thing. That was pretty much one of the easiest things in the whole process, just because I think I just got to the point where I knew I wanted to make a change, I knew what I needed to do, and so like I had just gone too far. But I did find, before I signed up at the gym, I found like the FitBlur community on Tumblr, and also I found a bunch of before and after blogs where real people would send in like their weight loss transformation photos. There are like hundreds of pictures of people who were even at a higher starting weight than I was, transform into like fabulous bodies and things like that, and I found that really motivating because I thought, wow, if they can do that in a year, like think what I can do in a year. I didn't even know that in less than a year I could get to the weight that I am now, but I thought that if even in 12 months I was at 170, I would have been happy with that because it's way better than when I was before. It was under 200 pounds. So having a playlist is one of like the biggest things for me for working out. I like to do like a lot of like hard beat, like fast songs that you can run to on the beat because that like really pumps me up. But I just think you have to find the motivation in yourself. You can't lose weight for anyone else. Other people can tell you all the time, oh, lose weight, or you should probably lose weight. Even my mom, like her and I are very close. She wouldn't tell me I needed to lose weight, but she had asked me if I was happy with my body and things like that. And I used to get really mad because I was sensitive about it, even though I knew I did need to, but I was just lazy. And so once I decided I wanted to do it for myself in January of this year, sorry. Once I made that decision, nothing could stop me. I just didn't look back. No, I didn't hit a plateau in my weight loss so far. I think it took me a while to start seeing weight loss, not that I wasn't losing pounds. Losing the last little bit of weight is generally the hardest, so I've heard in all my research, but so far, no. Losing weight isn't easy, but it's not super difficult either. Like there were no times during this whole 6 months that I wanted to quit and just jack it in. If weight loss was easy, something that was really easy, then everyone would do it. No one would be overweight, So it's not the easiest thing, but I think it's mind over matter. When you're at the gym and you're first starting and you're really unfit, that is the hardest part. Or when you like do a new exercise to push yourself or up your speed. You know, you're out of breath, you feel like a dying animal. But when you push through and you break that barrier and you just do it, it becomes so much more fun. Like weight loss is one of the most rewarding experiences, I think. I almost want to say I'm glad I got to experience it, even though I'm not, because I shouldn't have let myself go. But it has been a really rewarding experience to know that you can put your mind to something and set a goal to something that isn't just like instantaneous, and that you can achieve it. So even just losing like 1 pound, 5 pounds, anything, it's a really good feeling. Number one, do not be unrealistic with your goal weight. Know kind of what a healthy range for your height is and then go from there. You're just gonna kill yourself trying to make that weight, number one. Number two, when you do get to that weight, because nothing's impossible, it just might take you a little bit longer, it'll be so hard to maintain that weight. A huge tip for me would be to avoid fad diets. No, it's not a diet. Don't do any diet. No Atkins, no carb, no South Beach cleanse, none of those diets. I don't believe in them. It's not dieting, it's a lifestyle change. Do not weigh yourself every day. Do not overweigh yourself in general. Throughout my whole weight loss, I haven't really weighed myself that much. Throughout the day, depending on what you eat, depending on how much water you drink, you can put on water weight. So your weight can fluctuate between 2 pounds or so. And so it's silly to become obsessed by the number on the scale. Look at how your body looks, how do you feel, and then go by that. Another huge tip for me would also be accountable. And that means, if you can, just have someone kind of, a trusted person who you're not gonna get mad at or be offended by, just check in with you, like even like once every few weeks or something. Oh, how's the gym going, blah, blah, blah. Because I mean, if someone keeps asking you, oh, how's the gym? Are you going to the gym? And your answer all the time is, oh, I haven't been, or I'm gonna start, then you're even just gonna feel embarrassed to yourself that you're not going, that you have to tell someone. So it just makes you accountable. Questions, you can ask them on my Instagram, my email. You can ask them in the comments below, and I will get back to you guys for sure. I hope that I could inspire or motivate at least one person, because like that's the biggest deal. If I can like pay it forward. Yeah, I'm talking too much, so I will just talk to you guys soon. Bye.